Can you guys hear me okay? Let me get my computer set up over here. Sorry, I'm a horrible live streamer. Where's my mouse? There it is. Let me get a couple people in here. There we go. Now we're in here. I've got people in here. So, popped in here a few minutes early. First thing I gotta do is tuck these Killaman strings in. Got the birth control helmet on full charge. All that stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, today is kind of a big live for me. I just kind of wanted to do it. Not really unannounced, but kind of low key. I've also got the name still up from the last raffle. We will do the raffle at the end of this stream for another pin. But ever since I started turning about a year and a half ago, I've always wanted to get into the bigger stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever I say this blank hasn't fought me tooth and nail, because it absolutely 100% has. I did manage, when I was trying to mount it up, I dropped it and cracked the corner of it off on the bricks that I've now added to the bottom of my lathe to keep this from bouncing as bad. I'm going to bust out some carbides here in a minute and try to give it level off as best as I could before we start getting into detailing. But this is a 20-inch kiln-dried cherry blank. It's 20 inches, 3 inches thick. And I did get some damage over here when I dropped it and broke the corner of it off. But I think my design that I want for this, I'm going to be able to kind of correct that and everything else. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, get some people in here, and then I'm going to start cranking. What's up, Jeffro? So this thing weighs about, I don't know, 33, 35 pounds. I made a modified tool rest out of some lathe parts that I acquired. Get this out of here so you guys can see what the hell's going on. But this is an old rest I've got. This is a actually part of a banjo from a way cheaper lathe. It gives me a flat surface to compare ram thickness and all that stuff like that. I'm going to move my other camera mount over here so you guys can see exactly what's going on from a couple different angles. I'll be able to maneuver you guys around and switch you around. Especially whenever I start shaping, you know, on this end and all that cool stuff like that. But I wanted to do this for a while. Piece of a knot right there. Thank you. The flat rest, and believe it or not, I found this metal collar that I put on it to keep it at a center height, regardless of which way I spin it, and that's pretty cool as well. Thank you, and congrats for the 7K. So I'm going to strap up my birth control helmet here, bust out the big Simple Wood tools, scrapers. I am using a couple carbides on this to get this rounded off the way I want it first, and then it's going to be hopefully strictly traditional gouges, stuff like that. I'm going to try to make this moment as special as I can, like prom night for a ugly kid, you know? I'm thinking that we're going to, not exactly an OG, we're going to give this a wide foot because it's a 20-inch blank. We're going to roll up, then recurve out to about right here above this knot if it doesn't travel upward, which I don't think it does. But I've got this portion right here that I broke off when I dropped it. Hello, Someday. How's it going? And then we're going to roll this rim, not necessarily roll it, but we're kind of dish it back in about, I don't know. That's not really broke off that far. If I would completely cut that out to make a straight rim bowl, I would have about a 19-inch bowl. Get your tuxedo out. Yeah. So if you haven't, like, subscribe, all that stuff like that. If you want your name to go on the raffle, go ahead and throw them in there. I know I don't really do raffles during the week, but I am going to do one drawing because we had so many entries the other day, and I can't explain to you guys how thankful I am for that. That helps me out a lot. It helps the channel out a lot. So if you guys toss one in here and I don't catch it, one of the mods will, and they'll let me know exactly how much it is or how much you entered, and I can go ahead and throw you on the wheel. It's up in the background. It is 12 o'clock, so without further ado, let's get into it. Lay you there. Hopefully my camera don't bounce around too much and all that crazy stuff. I might be able to scoot this a little bit closer for you guys because my head slides all the way down the so you can see exactly what's going on. Helps out a little bit, I reckon. Put that bulb back on there. Lock that in place. Give the old tool rest and down. Here we go. Spin this around. Now it is going to wobble a little bit. It's not 100% where it needs to be hit, but I've always been about sharing the struggle with you guys. So let's get into it. Remember, safety first. Wear protection. Bird control hat. Let's start this off with this big ass simple wood tools. I'll try to get an established flat perimeter around that, help me balance it out a little bit. Negative rate carbide. So let's give it. Happy birthday, PJ. I'm gonna lock that down. I'm a dumbass. Hold on. I don't really want to stand here, but I kind of gotta. So I think that once we get this portion right here removed, it's going to be a lot more in balance. And then we'll start on the bottom. That's not really cutting as full as I thought it would. Bust over to my big one. Actually, hell with it. Let's just try to run it with a bowl gouge. Make sure we're good and tight. Good and tight. me up. Think we might have to slide the head back to this end. It wasn't really wobbling as bad then. Yeah, we're bringing this back here. I didn't have as much wobble on the end where the legs were. Still got some more. I don't like the way that's catching. Alright, wobble's starting to get a little bit more manageable. Wobble's starting to get a little bit more manageable, which means we might have about half of that chunk of missing material taken out of there. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, we only got a little bit further, maybe, I don't know, not a whole lot. But, I think before it gets too crazy, because it's probably going to get real ass crazy here in a minute, we're going to start trying to shape the center of this a little bit. Much as that kind of makes my butthole pucker. beat the dog shit out of you. That's all I'm saying. Hey Dan, hey John, how's everybody going? Lightning starts. What's up, Show and Love? Johnny, everybody, not ignoring y'all. Alright, so now we're rounding this off and I'm trying to cut this knot out of here before I start working on this upper rim up here and shaping the bottom. I'm going to move the camera over here a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't shake the living hell out of y'all. That's the plan anyways. So you're not just looking at my wood from the side, you know what I mean? I know you guys normally don't work from this angle, but she big. That's my arm, bro. Okay, so I'm not getting any up and down movement, like in here. I do believe that the wobble is because of the face. Both faces need shored up and this piece back here. So once we get those kind of alleviated and everything formed to where we can shape it, this hopefully will go a lot smoother. But one thing that I'm quickly finding out, when you do big bowls, you dull the hell out of your tools real quick, like it's a lot of cutting. Put an edge on this real quick, fresh edge anyways. And we'll get back into it. Alright, so that, we don't need to really remove the heel on that right now. Birth control helmet down. I will say this, even though we've kind of we've leveled up a whole lot since the original Frankenlathe. This is kind of reminding me of when I first started turning. And the reason being is, this is on its lowest speed. It's 600 RPM. And the cool thing about it, well, not necessarily the cool thing about it is, we're at 600 RPM. The Frankenlathe had one speed. It was like 2,600 RPM, so it was running a Mach Jesus 24/7. And on these bigger blanks, the center is moving way, way slower than the outside rim here. But one thing I am starting to notice as I flip through here and look at this has got some black lines through the grain that I think is going to be absolutely beautiful when we pop this. So I'm going to keep working, trying to get this knot out of here and church this edge up a little bit. Stay with me, double check, make sure my bang's still tight. Okay. Check tension on that. Let's get it. I will say that once you get into that knot, the shrapnel off that hurts like hell. I can almost time it the way that it's turning about the stuff coming out of that knot. But we should have her about licked. Yeah, just about. Alright, so, for the sake of keeping my damn sanity, lock it back there for a second. Rotate this around here. Bring that right there. Make sure she spins without rubbing, and she don't just yet, so it means I've still got a little bit of an inconsistency in my edge, and we're going to remedy that now, hopefully. Come up here and love on the edge a little bit. And then we'll start shaping. Right now we're getting to that broke off spot. wobble is decreased significantly. One of the negatives about this homemade tool rest is I probably should have took like an angle grinder and ground it out flat and all that cool stuff. Yeah, we're going to try to hook Michael up with a bigger lathe. Alright, I have got all the tear out except for maybe a 1/4 inch, so we are going to in fact lose just a little bit of No, we're not. I'm going to roll that top edge. I'm going to go ahead and roll that now so I can pair everything up. So, let's do that. And maybe I won't die. I know you guys can't really see back there. I'm sorry about that. Let's see what we got here. Alright, that's out of there. Okay, cool. So, fucking Bob Ross moment. Happy little accidents. I kind of like the way that contours up with a little jaunt in, then has that little bit of a lip right there. That might be our final design choice. I do need to round this off a little bit more, but before I do that, I'm going to slide my tool rest back, and I'm going to give the back side of this a once over real quick to shore it up and make sure that it's not super off center, you know what I mean? I'm going to come down here, I'm going to finish shaping this, we're going to cut a tenon in there. Okay. Now I will say this is progressing rather fast, and that scares the hell out of me. But I do need to come down here and round this off, establish a foot, and the I'm gonna do a combo mortise and internal tenon. Cut my notch for my coin. But sheet rounding. Michael, I'd say in addition to a good sized tenon, you may need a pretty beefy chuck as well. Yeah, I've got my bust out my bigger chuck, and my first run on it, I'm gonna try to do a expansion. Keep the mortise extremely close to the size of the closed chuck jaws. That way, I've got round pressure and torque all the way around it. But on the inside of that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attempt to make a tenon. So this is all it's all Greek to me, boys and girls. This is actually the first time I've ever used a faceplate too, so look at me go. Yeah, full expansion. This may end catastrophically. Catastrophically. Catastrophically, dumbass. I'm going to try to do some shear scraping around the side of this. Feather it into this. Okay, cool. Let me tighten these down and measure these so I know exactly what size I'm working with here. Set you there. Ow. Grado scraper. Get a stealing camera there. Cool. Put a better edge on this. Get my burnishing rod because we're most definitely going to have to pull the burr on this. Way right here on my stool. Jeff. Let's go in here, man. How deep should I make this mortise? Guess Jeff might not be in here. Alright, so I'm gonna say no less than a 1/4 inch. Cool. Okay, there's that. Let's see how this works out real quick. Ooh, we have to go to the cat here. Look at this. Alright. Probably should have done that before I chucked in the old the dovetail. That'll be alright. Yep, okay, good there. And we gotta make our socket for our coin that goes in the bottom. Where in the unholy hell did I literally just lay my calipers? Oh well. There they are. Do 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 do. are still good. Those are still good. Make sure everything's still good over here. Okay, so I need to obviously clean up the bottom of this and establish a foot right about here. So a wide bottom bowl, so it's gonna need a foot. So I'm going to bust out the old spindle. Start giving this thing a run for its money. Gouge. Lock that in again. Longer push cut than I would have wanted taken, but kind of had to on that one to get that running through. Okay, so we want to clean up the bead on this, and I'll use my spindle detail gouge. My bad. Clean this up. We're gonna dome this or cove this just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of something so it sits flat. And then we're going to really work on the outside perimeter of this. I'm going to sharpen this real quick. Go ahead and shake that all together now. See how she works. She might work like ass. She might work real good. Figure while that's going on, I could probably answer a couple comments and check the chat. Whew. Size your mortise up with the chuck that you're using. Yes. Dan's in here. Hell yeah. Eric. Steve. Coding. I'm not raffling off this bowl. My wife done told me that if I could pull this off without shattering this bowl, that she's claiming this bowl and she'll let the black limbo bowl go. So she's pretty fucking picky, honestly. But I love her. So I'm going to run with that. But this is a bigger bowl. It's kind of my first bigger bowl, and honestly, I wouldn't raffle this one off if I had a chance, because this has been a long time coming for me, man. I've always wanted to turn some outboard stuff. I want to do some crazy stuff, and this is my chance to do it. That's it. I'm going to drink it. It's not so frosty beverage because it's hotter than the hinges of hell here and raining. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep my first big piece. Yes, I do have some stuff inside. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what I will do. At the end of this, if you guys don't want a pin, I will spin. The winner can come to my Facebook page here in about, or not my Facebook page, my YouTube page here in about an hour and a half after I'm done. And I'll upload a series of pieces that I have that aren't spoken for yet, and you can pick from one of those. If you don't want a pin, if you want a pin, you have one of the pins. It's cool with me. But let's get back into this and get to working. Not something you normally use a spindle detail gouge for, but felt right at the moment. I'm going to use this to detail that foot a little bit. And then I'm going to put a indent line there, as well as an indent line right there. Bust this out with the little modification on the back of it. That's dished and domed. And then we are going to this one. I know one thing. If I keep turning big stuff like this, I'm going to have to invest in a gimbal. Or something that's got the gyroscope filming function in it. Alright, I still need to do a little bit of work on that. Well, actually, a whole hell of a lot of work, but, you know. We're going to sand that, but the bottom's kind of where we want it right now. We'll put some detail in there in a minute. But I've established the foot. The foot sits lower than the tenon. It's kind of what we wanted. Now we need to come up here and round this out because that's kind of my thing. What's up, Donna? Glad you're back in here. Okay, there's that. Put that on there. And I'm just gonna start rounding this out and sloping the sides a little bit. I will say this. I believe, and this is just my personal belief, that watching, if I'm standing here watching the ghost line in the horizon of the bowl, is way, 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 way more pertinent on a bowl of a bigger stature like this, because the slightest move of your tools is really just, it's taking the effect over a much, much bigger area. Okay. It's not nowhere near ready for sanding yet. I still need to do some shaping. Try to use this again and maybe not get some gnarly catches. I don't know. Okay. That is a whole hell of a lot better. I even got some curl up in there. Hell yeah. Let's hit this with some sandpaper and see how that goes real quick. I'm kind of intrigued. Move you guys up here and I'll finagle you. Give me just a second. Ow. Get off me. Thank you. One thing, and you'll never ever see me do this. Put some gloves on real quick. Because just got this weird feeling this is going to get hotter than hell when I'm sanding it. Bust it out with this first. Move you guys back around to where you can see what the hell going on. What's up, Jesse Gillett? I could see very easily how this could get like stupid addicting. Turning these monster bowls like this and bigger. Like, in all actuality, this isn't a monster bowl. It's a big ass bowl, don't get me wrong. It's by far the biggest that I've turned. But it's not a monster like some of these guys that are turning like 28, 32-inch bowls and stuff like that. I am getting ready to turn a ginormous ass walnut platter though, depending on how this goes. I'm going to do a segmented rim and a solid pinstripe floor on it to see how it goes. Oh yeah, that's looking way better. Way better. That makes me not nearly as nervous. Before we continue here and I get all stupid on this, I'm going to chuck this in here real quick. Make sure expansion's okay and I haven't lost anything. It looks like she's spinning okay in the center, so I'm cool with that, and that actually buries all of the teeth, so I don't feel nearly as like I'm making my own death machine, if that means anything. I'm going to keep my left hand ungloved. No glove! Hit that like button. 74 likes in here. I'm an hour into chopping this monstrosity. Show your boy some love. No glove, no love. I don't know what happens if I turn the speed up. Shit we're not going to do right now. That's exactly what the fuck happens. Okay. One thing that's unfortunate about bigger bowls that I'm also quickly realizing, even the most slightest screw up is way bigger amplified. Like it's amplified by a whole damn lot. Okay, get that off here. Jesus Lord. I'll get a finer grit sandpaper and go through here. Ow, that was my foot. That was sure as hell my foot. If I thought that the oscillating sander with a pad on it, oh shit. Eric makes. Yeah, I hope it don't come off the lathe. Eric, give me just a second. I'll put you on the wheel, brother. Thank you, man. You didn't have to do that. I will throw you on the wheel. Eric's for an entry. Give me just a second, so I'll make my way back across the room and I'll put him on there. Oh, damn, that gets hot. I'm barely shooting my fingers. A little bit of funk right here I want to get rid of. Ow. Son of a bitch. Ooh, there's this fan I forgot about right here. Air on my big ass. Like potato salad, man. I don't do good past like 65 degrees. Alright. Now, this is a rather large bull bottom. I've still got some sanding to do on it. But, I think I've got one of those for the drill attachment. I'm not real 100% sure because I never really used it. I fucking do, Bobby. I do. Daddy's got one. Hold on. It's about to go down. I think I actually got a dedicated drill just for this shit, too. Thought I did anyways. Might not have. Might have yeeted that bitch out the trash. Ow. Beating crazy, what's up? Thank you, honey. Miss Francis. Never worked on anything where I had to step around it to sand it before. This is kind of new to me. It's got that funky ass green. I don't like that, but we'll make it happen. Clickety clickety. What are y'all thinking? 150. Jump on what opportunity? Let's see if we can put some abrasive paste and stuff on here. Oh God! Set you right there. I'm gonna glove up for this. Slather it on there like finger paint. It's entirely too much surface area to dabble on there with the damn paper towel. Little dippity doo-dah, bitches. I'm not going to put any in the very, very center because that's where I'm going to have to put the epoxy for my coin, which should be here this week. I am super excited about that. Let that sit there for a second. Take this greasy ass glove off. I feel like a proctologist at a zoo. It's really very pretty. Thank you. Hoping my wife likes it. Ugh. She shacked up with me, so she's probably not real picky. Take this off for a second, plug it in, so it can charge before I do the inside of it, because there's most definitely going to be some crap flying once I get inside there. Hopefully it's just not the bowl blank itself. I'm very uncomfortable working with something this big without a tailstock. Don't do that, people. Do as I say, not as I do. I do dumb shit. I'm sorry. That's set. We'll give it here in a second again. Meantime, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna put Eric on the wheel. My brother Eric needs to go on the wheel. Eric, you are on the wheel, sir. Right. Okay. So, I'm getting ready to beeswax this here in a minute and all that stuff. Before I do that, I've got to ask you guys, because this is cherry, and let's face it, fucking cherry's beautiful. Do I need to put the burn accents in the beadwork on this? Because I'm also going to have a bead on top, and I'll have to burn accent that. So, yeah, you got to let me know. Give that one to Suzanne. I will straight up do that, Eric. Suzanne, you on the wheel in place of Eric. Try to bust off some of this damn wood fur I'm wearing. Check it out. This is super horrible. See how dark my skin is under that sawdust? It's the tannins in the wood. They mess with my skin. So I've got to go inside and scrub the living hell out of my arms. What up, 77? How's it going, my brother? My partner in crime. So, just on the side, the burn rings. All right. What's up, Show and Love? This is my monstrous 20-inch American Cherry blank that I'm growing pretty fond of, and my wife has already claimed. Okay, so I think it's time to beeswax her. And then polish the hell out of it. We're going to have to beeswax it, then polish the living hell out of it. I'm glad you guys are here. This is kind of like a huge moment for me as a wood turner. I've wanted to do monster bowls for a long time, and I could have easily just like done a practice run all by myself and stuff, but you guys have been here since the get, and I think it's only right that I share this moment with you guys. Jacksock. You want that white line from the beeswax. It means you're heating it up, it's melting, it's actually going into the pores. You're sealing your wood. Ah! Monologuing and drop my whacking sock. Yeah, these bowls for I know that Etsy is like ludicrous prices, but a 20-inch cherry bowl, or I'm sorry, an 18-inch cherry bowl on Etsy is going for like $8.99, like ignorance prices. Put some more wax up here on this edge. Even though I'm gonna roll it here in a minute, I still want it to be done right. Don't wrap the towel around your hands. Bunch it up. Back support it. Oh, I didn't say mine go for $800, bro. Like I said earlier, I'm going to put a lot of beeswax on this so we have a consistent, thick coat. Outboard turning is a trip. I will say that it's way different than regular turning. It's taking some getting used to. That's kind of crazy, but man, it's different. All right, see what the bottom of it looks like. Holy sheep shit. That was a job, boys and girls. How long have I been turning? Almost 2 years, man. I just found like a real love for it. I know it sounds kind of corny, but turning kind of like zens me out, I reckon, you know, that stuff. So I totally, it gets me going, man. Keeps me going, I guess, say that. All right, so here's the part that I absolutely hate. I've got to dismount this. Get some paper towels, knock the funk off of me so I don't mess up that beautiful finish. Oh, look, there's a shirt that don't fit me anymore. Come here, you son of a bitch. I'll use you. Okay. Ow. Woo! That's why I didn't want to do it. All right. Get something to pop these screws out here real quick. Made my butthole pucker a little bit. I thought I dropped that into the chuck or into the spindle. I've been a salty dog. Scam likely. Damn it, leave me alone. I'm trying to do a live stream. Really don't even want to play with this part because hear horror stories, people breaking off screws in a their chuck all the time. Or in their blank all the time, not their chuck. I don't know who the hell's breaking off screws in their chuck. Set those over there. Face plates off. slide this over and rechuck up on this side. Big boy. I'm definitely going to get a hold of Brad and get some bigger blanks. Probably not immediately, but in the near future. Speaking of which, if you're looking in the market for some big-ass blanks like this, go to Godwood LLC, also known as turningblanks.net. Check them out. Use the code WHACKER, WHACKER, and he'll give you a hell of a discount. Get over and read the comments. I'm way too far from the camera. Yeah, also depends on the species. If you had a 20-inch piece, I'd say camphor burl, oh yeah, this stuff in a 20-inch blank, something like that, 15 or 20-inch blank, 18-inch blank, you're looking at every bit of $1,500 to $2,000. What's hi back? How's it going, man? At 12 by 3 blank on there is 54. That's 22 inch. It's 3 inch as much wood. Yeah. Yeah, it's pricey, but man, this stuff is absolutely beautiful. And I'm telling you right now, I have never got a piece of crap wood from Brad. I will 100% stand on that. Now, I've dropped some shit. This bowl in particular, I dropped it and I ended up shaving like right at. This is always the biggest pain in the ass. This is a two-man job. All right. Sorry about that. You guys weren't even in focus. My bad, y'all. Front side, we got chucked up. See how she spins? She spins like we're going to work with her. Okay. That is a big-ass monster. Raise this up here. Hang out with you guys for a second, cool myself off because I am smoldering hot. Not John. If you're John, you need to message me, man, so I can get your bowl out to you, brother. I need your address. Yes, this is technically a $140 blank. Yeah, I'm getting ready to hydrate, dog. Someday. I got this. Thank you, though. I got the old Diet Coke. If my wife's in here listening, if she would bring me out a giant mug of water, that would be phenomenal. Send one of the children out here. I know we made them for a reason. I'll put it in the chat, or Wilson can, one of the two. But y'all want to see something cool? I just looked up and seen it. Even though I am a big knothead, covered in tattoos, beard, and man bun, I like goofy shit. Cuss like a sailor. I'm sorry about that if you're offended. I'm kind of a sentimental goon. So last summer, as we were trying to get the house built, we were actually living with my mother-in-law who lives next door, and I was getting ready for a show, stuff like that, and my wife had this idea to make these, well, actually my mother-in-law had this idea to make these little gnomes, and my wife jumped on it. We made this one out of the batch, and this is super janky shit, but it's awesome as hell. It's a piece of a 2x4 with a wooden knob that I turned on it and some stuff. I named this dickhead Ernesto, and I take him everywhere I go, dude. Like craft shows, he's been at every one of them. Sits right over top of my lathing station, so everywhere I go, Ernesto goes. Don't worry, I did that last time. Yeah, people spell my name wrong all the time, bro. Yeah, Johnny. Let me hit the old vape. We got 96 likes in here. Come on, y'all. I need 4 more to pop 100. Let's get it. Try some stuff here. I want to make sure that I can make things fit the way they should fit. Make sure that at least covers the center axis. Looking like gravy, Bobby, like gravy. Okay, so tool rest. I could swing it over probably about another inch in there, but I'm not doing that just yet. Give me a little bit of a standoff, because if this thing snaps off, it's going through my shop like a damn tractor trailer tire. What I plan on doing, scoot y'all's in here real good, like so you can get the glamour shots and hopefully not document me killing myself. That was a figure, YouTube. Don't censor me, Jesus Lord. The lathe that I recommended by Fine by Tool is out of stock. I'm sorry, dude. Mine is crusty as hell, and I use it for a sharpening system now. But that's her. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a person in here that's been in my live streams that can't tell you that I didn't beat the hell out of that thing like a workhorse for almost a year. Matter of fact, as soon as I got it, the first thing I opened on it was I think it was an 8x4 Blanca Cherry. Yeah, for about, actually they're usually on sale pretty good, and if you're a Harbor Freight member, they're on sale way cheaper. The Bauer is a phenomenal lathe, and you can usually get the Win 12x18. I had one of those for a while. You can find those in the marketplace all the time, and I think, hell, you can buy them new for like $300-400, and they're a pretty good lathe too. Bauer is a phenomenal lathe. Alright, so what we're going to do. I like this jaunded up pronounced rim right here. I'm going to put a bead right here and a bead right here, and then I'm going to do just a little bit of coving work in the center of that to give it, the top of it some detail. And then we're probably going to leave, I'd say the walls on this are going to be right around a 3/8 of an inch thick. It's a bigger bowl. And it's my first one, so I don't want to blow it apart. Alright, so with that being said, let me get my janky-ass coving tool over here that I've reground to fit my not-so-traditional needs. Now I had to do that on that cove because of where I had dropped it on the brick and broke the corner of the blank off, if you guys remember that. So I can't just, if I chopped it all the way down to where it's flush, I would have more of a platter than a bowl. Bust out the spindle as soon as I find her here in my pile of nothingness. There it is on the very bottom, of course. Don't drop your tools on the ground, dumbass. Okay, so we got our bead established around the edge where we're going to be working from. Cove that out a little bit more, and that's also going to give us the illusion of more depth in this bowl. That. Try to insert right here. And then we're going to roll this bead out. Sander here in a second. Ow. After we get to cutting on the inside of this, because, you know, mistakes can happen and shit can fly apart. What was that? I'm sorry. Kevin Ellis. Holy crap. The first thing I thought of was this thing, flywheel off an old 2-cylinder Johnny Popper. I'll take it. Alright, and now that's established, I want to start doing the bead on the center of this. Excuse me, I didn't mean to burp like that, but it's hot. I know there's no excuse and I don't really care. Alright. Bring this in a little bit. Not a whole lot, but enough to where I ain't second guessing myself with my own personal well-being. Alright. Birth control helmet. It's a must for this. $104 likes. Hell yeah. Make sure I'm good on the back. Just want to be sure. Alright. Big ass bowl gouge. Might as well hit her with the fresh edge. Change my grind just a little bit on that because I'm going to be working on the inside of this. And I don't have a bottom bowl gouge, blunt nose. Robert Sorby hasn't hooked me up yet. So, ain't none to her but to do her. fun to have a lathe and side saddle. It's different. Something here. I don't know. Let me find it. Good Lord. No. Not even a bite. Alright, back to the bolt. Jeff is not wrong. There's always someone passing away that was into this. And regardless about how you feel about it, they'd love for someone to carry on with their stuff. And on the bright other side, there's always a crackhead wanting to get rid of their grandpa's tools because they have no idea what they are. Okay, holy hell. That's a deep chicken, Bobby. That's a deep chicken. Make sure she's still good. Make sure I'm tied up there. Kick the speed up to about 1,000. Sawdust Yeti. Oh. No, that is not the actual use or the intended use of one of these bowl scrapers. But what I did, very edge of this, I put this more at a 70-degree angle. And then on this back corner right here, I put that more of a squared off jaunted angle with that little cut. And it gives me the ability to kind of get into the tighter grooves and do some crazy scraping on these, especially when I'm hollowing. Okay. Scraper's phenomenal. Oh, no problem. I'd also done it with my smaller one too for corners like this that I'm getting ready to get into. I don't like having, even though I do, I don't like having tools that just have one designated purpose and that's all they're good for. I like having tools that like you can kind of like test the boundaries with them, see what they're capable of doing with them. Like, yeah, I've got thread chasers. It's kind of hard to modify those. One of my SKUs has got a dovetail cutter engraved or etched in the back of it. So it's just crazy stuff like that that usually tends to help out. Take this round part. I'm going to try to undercut this lip a little bit. I'm not in any way trying to make this a thin bowl. But I do think it's only right that if you're going to have a closed rim bowl like this where it campers over the top, or cambers over the top, that you give it a little bit of an undercut to show that off. If not, people are going to think you were lazy and you didn't want to do the work to do your stuff. Okay. Boys and girls, that is a workout. That is a hell of a workout. I'm thirsty as hell, but the show must go on. Okay. So, we are chilling right about here right now. You're nowhere near my thing, so we can work a little bit. I don't want to use, I really don't want to use carbides unless I absolutely have to. I have nothing against carbides, but I'm trying to stay true to better myself with the traditional tools. Once again, I have nothing against people that use carbides, man. Yes, my wife, my lovely dear wife, if you would please bring me my water out, I would do unthinkable stuff. Oh, God, we're going to take that off for a minute. Ugh, dust in my eyeball holes. I'm gonna take my watch off because I'm pretty sure I'm just packing this bastard full of sawdust. Oh yeah, you'll always see stuff that's waterproof. I ain't found shit that's sawdust proof yet. See right there, I was catching on the bottom of that original worm screw hole that I done, which means I need to raise my tool rest up just a little bit, and we'll go put a fresh edge on this. Alright, let's get back in the saw. Trying not to get too aggressive with this. Connection, yes. Ooh, holy hell. Need some more bricks for the bottom of my lathe base, I do know that. I think I heard my wife pop the gate. Pretty sure I just seen her head bebopping around the corner here. She's gonna have cold stuff to drink. It's gonna be awesome. You're saying. It's going. It's currently kicking my ass, but it's going. Yeah, it does take a while for the big chunk of cherry to stop spinning, but got the bottom of it done. I got a giant mound of cherry dust down here and shavings. More shavings than dust, I will say that. We got our rim fairly established. We got to do a lot more hollowing, and then we got to clean up the inside of this. you got to think whenever we're doing this, we're pretty much eating away a mass that's normally the size of one of the bowls that we turn. So it takes a little bit of work to get it out of there, but it's worth it. My wife might give me the approval on this. I don't know. Oh. Our island's getting smaller, which is a plus. didn't know that yet. Alright, we gotta get this island up out the middle here. So I can get my curved rest in here and actually start shaping the bottom of this to look like a bowl. Like the bottom of this is still probably about 1.5 inches thick, so we got some hollering to do. Some more water. Come down in here, Billy. Ugh. Okay, cool, man. I will, I'll check it and I'll get back with you as soon as I get out of the stream here, man. Try to modify the edge on my spindle real quick. That way I can maybe do some pull peeling cuts. Hang back for just a second. No, let's give that a shot. Holy shit. Falling. Here we go. So I do got part of that knot in there. I knew that was there from the bottom. I feel like I almost need more speed at this time. Getting into that knot about now. Yeah, we're creeping up on it. There's the outside edge of it. So we really got to cut through that. Alright, back to the bowl gouge, because I've made it this far without using carbides. I'm going to try to go the rest of the way without using a whole lot of carbides. Sorry guys, that was kind of an on-the-fly retaping of my bowl gouge. Okay, about right. Just want to go back over to look at my live, and I got like 6 viewers. Almost. Sorry, guys. Alright, I think that might be it. Holy shit. Alright. No, I'm not in double digits yet, so that's alright. What's up, wood turning? Dan? Not bad for a impromptu sweatback cut, I reckon. pin tray is over here rattling the hell out of my table. Yeah, so we're gonna move it now. Big black BBC, big cherry. Yeah. Alright. I think once I get this out of here, the shaping of it might not be as inconvenient. But I really want to give some attention to that knot we're starting to play with now. Currently just doing straight push touch, trying to get through that knot. We're in the heart of it now. Hear the noise where I'm cutting air in there currently. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, we're into it. Okay. Ow. Damn it. Okay, that is a pretty gnarly knot. I'm not even going to beat around the bush on that. I don't think it's going to fly apart. But those are like some famous last words and shit. So we're going to hit that whore with some copious amount of CA and let it just flood anywhere where there might be a imperfection in there. Fill it up. That in return will give me a chance to hit my vape, shoot the shit with you guys for a second, get a drink of water and let that dry. Whew. So, if you're just tuning in, which looks like somebody might be, this is a 20-inch, yeah, cherry blank, 3-inch thick. Came from Gotwood LLC, also known as turningblanks.net. I am sponsored by them. You can use the code WHACKER, capital WHACKER, on discount and get a hell of a discount. Or on your checkout and get a hell of a discount. That sounded way better the second time I said it. But we are currently trying to hollow this big behemoth out. This is the biggest bowl I've ever made. Got the lathe set up outboard so I can turn it side saddle, as Kevin Ellis called it. Put a little bit of glue, and the imperfection is in here. We'll get down there deeper to where we're actually going to be at, and I still see it. We're going to have to pack it with some glue and some sawdust on the ground, but we might be all right. So let's turn it back on. Get a little bit of speed up. There we go. thick of it. Shaky, shaky. Thank you, Francis. That means a lot. Yeah. So she's a gnarly heifer. That's a knot. That is a damn knot, boys and girls. But it does look like we're going to be all right. Once we get it down to where it's about flush with the bottom, if I need to, I'll pack it with sawdust and adhesive and send her to Jesus. All right, I'm going to check my chuck fittings real quick. My chuck tension, all that good stuff. Make sure I'm still in the go where I need to be. What I miss? It's gonna be the sexiest rooster in socks I ever seen. Hell yeah. That's his. I can't take her for it. Sexier in socks on a rooster. It's hotter than two rats scrogging in a wool sock, Billy. Alright. So, what I was talking about earlier, I am going to take my burnishing tool, my scraper here, and I'm going to drag that down the length of that flat. And what that will do, that will pull that burr on the end of that and give me a little bit better cutting surface than what I was working with before without having to go all the way back over and sharpen it. Spinny spin on. Okay, we're gonna turn it down. She loves her some Highland cows. Moo, baby, I have shaggy hair. Alright, so our knot is it's decreasing in size a lot. Thank God for that. I'm not gonna lie, my butthole was puckered in there for a second. Alright, I'm gonna bust out this thing because I hate this tool the most out of all my tools. This is the crane neck hollowing tool. I'll undercut this just a little bit. Heard a weird sound there. Sounded almost like my stuff was loosening up, so we're going to check that real quick. I would hate to put this work in here and then this thing fly off and kind of go south on me. I was right! Holy shit, listen to your lathe. Thank you, 2-minute tips for wood turners. Now, first off, this shit's killing me. Okay. Dustier than hell. Alright, so we're starting to get a little bit of an undercut here. I think I could probably do that with my bowl gouge. And if I could, that'd be awesome. Move you guys over here if you guys want to see what the hell's going on. So much dust. Sawdust everywhere. Damn it! Scared the shit out of me. I ain't gonna lie, boys and girls. Now the goal is not to jam in that corner again. We're gonna stop there. Yeah, nice catch. Got it. Snatch. Okay, good news is we already cut the catch out. Alright, so I do not want to use carbides. I don't want to use carbides. I don't want to use carbides. I don't want to use carbides. Damn it. Just get it over and use this son of a bitch. I hate it. Alright, I think we can, like, do actual work. Damn it, who did that? Dan. Alright, I gotta throw Dan on there for 5 pieces. 4 pieces, sorry. Oh, water's about empty. Thank you, man. I'm approaching it. I got over 200 the other day, and then I got like 230 on I think the Sunday Spun Day before that. But yeah, it's don't cost anything to like it and subscribe, y'all. And I just broke 7K subs. Super thankful for that. Okay, so we are undercut officially. And then I've got about another inch to cut in all the way through this. So, back to the sharpening jig we go. Tool sharpest damn fool you've ever seen. Thank you, Someday. You are dangerously close to 5K subs, Jeff. You'll be there in a matter of no time, brother. You guys haven't checked out Jeff from Too Many Tips for Woodturners channel, please go do it. You guys are a hell of a dude, hell of a turner. Got a lot of chatter because there's a lot of hangover there, and I'm bleeding. I don't know how. Need to drop this just a little bit. It's better. shit. Later, show and love. Okay, we're at a good thickness on the walls. Got to remove this in the center, and we'll just about have this lit. I am kind of worried about what's going on with this, I'm not going to lie. But as far as taper and contour goes, we're following the wall just fine. But we got to work on something with that. So what I'm going to do... Sorry about that, didn't mean to bump y'all. I'm going to swap out the homemade tool rest for this here tool rest. Effort. We're going to try to give that some love around there. Gets us a little bit closer inside, and once we get around to the center of it, we'll just deal with it the way we have to. In that knot, that tear out, or strong pony. That's actually really good and thin. Yeah, that's right about where she needs to be. That is kind of throwing me off, I'm not going to lie. Hell of a place for a crack, that's all I'm saying. Sit there and dry for just a second, and then we will get back here. I hopefully can have it cut to depth and everything in like maybe 1 or 2 more passes, and then we'll start the sanding and refining and cleaning up this edge and everything else. Thank you, Thunder Gouge. It means a lot, Heidi. Once again, if you guys are not like or subscribe to the channel, please do so. Please check out the sponsors. They're listed in the description. But please, more than anything else, check out the other churners on here. Check out the other wood channels. You got 2 Minute Tips for Wood Turners. Shoops. You got Jeff from 2 Minute Tips for Wood Turner. You got the Shoops. You got Michael Wilson. You've got Ryan from 77 Rockets. You've got the Woodshed by Dan. You've got just a phenomenal, badass group of people in here, and they're all about making things better. So please, 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 check them out. Check it out. This is a American Cherry. I'm sorry, Kevin Ellis. Nothing. I said you was a good turner. Check out your channel, Knothead. Highland sword fighting peckerhead. But we are trying to mitigate a little bit of the cracks around a knot. Hoping I can shave some of those out. If not, I'll be taking some of this fine dust and some wood glue and packing her full like a, like some shit I probably shouldn't be doing to begin with. But, yeah, I'm all about that life. As much as I hate to. I think I'm going to have to bust out the old flat rest and bring it out so I can get all the way over in the center. But I want to get out as much of this this knot and this tear out as I can before I get wild with it. Kevin Ellis, I'm not saying my bowls, but I've seen some fairly mediocre bowls, and I'm not judging anybody's work when I say that, but I mean like mediocre in design, just a straight wall bowl, 18, 20-inch cherry bowl without any figure, curling, just red cherry wood. They're going for like $899. I don't think I could ever sell anything that I make for that high of a level, but yeah, it's way more than I could spend on a bowl too, Eric. I work for a living, man. But this is actually a very, very pretty piece. I'm digging the way that the contour is. And I might be playing it cool on camera right now, but I am about ankle deep in sawdust and wood shavings, and I am praying that I can get this off the lathe without destroying it. That's where I'm at right now. Go off the water, hit the bait, get back at it. Oh yeah, walnut over the size is over thousands. This is a 20-inch blank. Take it back. Right now it's probably about, judging by the hang down below the bed, you're looking about 19 and a half, 19 and a 3/4, because I had to clean up some of the tear out on the sides that I caused when I dropped it on the bricks. But she's a beauty. Let's get back into her. You can hear the difference when I'm hitting that knot and when I'm hitting regular wood. Here's the knot, listen. That chatter and cutting air, like when I'm hitting solid wood that is already surfaced. So, see where we're at over here. we're about through the knot into the center, and much as I hate to, where did I put you at? Forgot about having this son of a bitch right here. Fucking look at me go, Bobby. Drop that down below center because we're working with a scraper. Okay. I've never used this wrench before. But it does get me closer so I don't have to mitigate as much off that overhang. I know that every time I get in there, it starts jumping a little bit, and I don't like that. I know, once again, that's not the correct way to use a bowl gouge. I understand that, but where I'm cutting into a crack, a void, I want to do more of a shear cut to remove the majority of that. And now we're down to here, so it's a lot more. Once I knock out this center nodule, it's all shaping, it's contouring, and coming in from the side gives us a better chance of not getting a really, really drastic catch going into the depth of that while it's spinning. Sorry. Because from the front, yeah, it's spinning this way, but you're going in at into a void perpendicular to it. But this way, you're facing into it with almost a peeling cut as it's spinning parallel to it, and it gives you a little bit more chance to mitigate any of the catches that you'll have. You'll still have catches, but it kind of mitigates it a little bit to where it's not as drastic and it's more controllable when you get it, because getting a real bad catch at this level in the turn, you'll be lucky if it's not like super catastrophic. I say that when I fire this bitch back up, I'll get like the worst turn ever, or worst catch ever. Start packing that. I'll probably have to pack it 2 or 3 times, but the cool thing about a closed rim lid, catches your dust for you. Don't die, don't screw it up. All right, brother. We're about done with her. We're about done. rest in a little bit because I'm starting to gain distance between the work surface, and I don't want a nasty catch. Woo! Oh shit, don't do that, Billy. There, let's see what we got here. Holy hell. Eric, I've never heard those words be said to me, sir. All right, so yeah, I'm digging it, man. actually really cool with this. Bottom is about 3/8 thick. I do have a hump right here I need to kind of blend in a little bit, and then we're going to get on with some sanding. Blend in my hump, you know what I mean? We use the smaller of these scrapers with the modified tip. Maybe it won't be as drastic. We'll turn the speed a little bit down, not a whole lot. Okay, so we got I was wanting to put like a small, kind of like a bead with a little bit of work on it, but I don't want to, especially with this right here going on. So we're not going to have a whole lot of options in that. I am going to hit her with the Shaduga juice one more time. Pack her full of dust. The Colombian drug mule. Give the old Jeff 2-minute tips from wood turners. Backfill, you'll love me. Alright, so edge looks pretty good. Back this out of the way. I might not even have to use this anymore. I could be wrong though. I say that and shit'll go south. Okay, there we go. Moment. Ow. up, Josh? I ain't seen you in forever, bro. You son of a bitch. Of course you'd fall fuzzy side down. Why wouldn't you? I think my drill's seen better days. That would have of weird rattlings and shit coming out of it. Later, 77. That's why I buy any drill I ever find at a yard sale. Okay. Ooh, she's soft as shit. Okay. Greasy. Put my greasy glove back on. DIY proctology shit. One thing or two? Don't forget the outside rim. Give this bastard a rim job. Give me some more grit. All right, she's fairly well shellacked down. Some nasty, greasy ass glove off here. Sit on it for a second. It's time to clean off my watch. I'm lost without my watch. It's gonna take a whole hell of a lot. I just keep buying these little fucking things, man, because that's all I can find on there. I'm gonna have to get some bigger stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at 184 likes. Try to get your boy up to 2K or 200. Thank you, Tina. Means a lot. Jesse, means a hell of a lot. I love the comments, but if you're a Turner and you send me a comment, shit means a lot to me, dude. No one's harder on a Turner except for the Turner himself. And I am very rough on myself when it comes to my stuff. A little bit of beeswax. A whole lot of beeswax, actually. I'm not going to beat around the bush. She's thin. I will say that. She is thin. Alright, she's shellacked down beeswax. My crusty loving sock here. Can't go on without a crusty loving sock. Now I was able to raise the speed up on this a little bit when we was doing it earlier. I'm gonna take her up to about $1,000. That white ring right there, you want that. That means you're melting your beeswax. And it's gonna impregnate the pores with your wax. Got this thing rotating around here like a fat kid on a seat or a teeter, fat kid on a merry-go-round. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the back of it with a little bit more beeswax because I've been having my muddy mitts all over it and everything else. That's thin. That is very thin. Hell, I didn't think it was that thin when I started. Talking about Billy Bob. See what she looks like. Move y'all over here. I'm going to rearrange some of my tools real quick, and then I will pop this heifer off the lathe and show her to you fine people. And then we'll do our raffle. Y'all thought I forgot about that, didn't you? Because I'm a cheap prick. At least that's what my wife says. She often does call me a cheap prick. Still love her, though. And I am a cheap prick. Stay. There we go. It works for lever, old ass markers. Jesus Christ. 8 foot of cherry dust in the floor here. All right, so what we got, boys and girls? The weight reduction on this is for real. All right, so we got the bottom of it done, beadwork and a foot. I got my hole here from my medallion. She's a big old bitch. She's big. Thank you guys very much for being with me while I done that. That actually, it's kind of like a milestone in my turning stuff for me. I've never turned anything that big. I got this lathe just for the sole intent of turning ginormous pieces like that. Most definitely won't be the last piece I turn like that. I'm already eyeballing making a walnut platter. I've cut the segments for the rings. I need to cut the bottom pieces so I can maybe put some maple and Purple Heart pinstriping in there with it. But yeah, that's a big moment for me. We got the beadwork around the top on the closed rim of it. Got my damn dusty mitts all over it. She can't put some fruit in that. We need to start buying smaller fruit. That's all I'm saying. What is the diameter? Give me just a second. Oh, damn it, Billy. Ow. I'm at 19. So I lost an overall inch on it because I had to remove the tear out where I dropped it on these big ass bricks down here and broke the ledge off of it. But I was able to kind of mitigate the damage control and put this curved top on it, which I think actually worked out pretty cool in my eyes. Put a beeswax finish on it because she's probably gonna put some fruit in it, and I got kids with meat hooks and shit, and I don't want them eating anything off chemicals or anything like that. That's awesome. Thank you. 3 hours of turning. Yeah, the other day was 5. I put some hours in on this lathe since I got it, and that was been one of the goals since I got it. Like I really believed that I was doing okay with my smaller lathe, but I had aspirations of doing bigger things, and I couldn't do that until I got the bigger lathe to work with. Now that I've got it, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't run wide open with it. It was a full body workout. I ain't gonna lie. My hips hurt, back hurts. I was swaying to this thing, but not for one project today. Yeah, just one project today, man. Saturday I done the Big Limba Bowl, the Paducah Bowl that I got to send to John. I done 2 pins. Like I was moving on it Sunday. I was getting it did. Artisan, shoot your hopes way higher than me, Cindy. Come on. I really enjoy turning. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like my Zen thing, and it lets me like do what I want to do. And some people like it, some people don't. I do okay at craft shows and things like that, but I like it whenever I get to like send stuff to people and they actually like use it. They cherish it. You know, it's like I don't build a whole lot of glamour pieces. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. It's not like, look at this crazy ass off the wall Taya burl with like a black African blackwood long ass finial. I built a lot of very utilitarian stuff. Like even down to my pins, yeah, they might look cool and they might look intricate and stuff like that, but you use them. Like the bowls that I make, they're containers, they're lids, they're bowls. Like you can use them, stuff like that. Like I mean, if someone asks for something crazy and real artsy, I don't care to do it. But I I like to build stuff that people actually get use out of and stuff like that. Found my piece with it. Now you have to make what you just said. Tie up the taiga burl with a black African blackwood finial. I don't have any taiga burl. Stuff's outrageous. You got some camphor burl though. I'm not down to not be there for a challenge. Thank you, Kevin Ellis. It means a lot. Need about 6 likes to hit the 200 like mark on this, and we are getting ready to spin the wheel. And then the winner can message me, and I will send you pictures of everything that I got, and you can pick from them. Yeah, you're not getting this stuff. My wife done claimed this, bro. What's up, Habby? Michael Wilson's back in the chat. So, bottom of it was able to work around that that knot. Got the bead, coved this out. I don't know if you guys can really see that, the slope on it. This sits lower than this, and then my challenge coin that I'm getting ready to burn as soon as my stuff gets here will sit in the middle of this. Everything has a price. And then done the beaded edge, double beaded edge with the cove. Finished her off with food safe stuff and beeswax. Cherry burls are reasonable and easy to find, but usually have to epoxy first. Yeah. Socks on a rooster frog and acid just for Kayla. Happier than a hairy Highland cow. So, yeah, please like and subscribe. Please check out the other channels that I mentioned earlier. This wood was provided by Brad from Gotwood LLC, also known as turningblanks.net. You can use my discount code. It's capital W HACKER. He'll hook you up with a discount. I probably won't be live again this week until Sunday, but I'm going to try to get something glued up kind of crazy for you guys. If I do go live, I'll announce it, a couple hours ahead of time. I'm going to try to. But Sunday, I'll have something ready cool for you. We'll do the raffle if you guys want to do it. If not, we'll take a break from it. Don't mean not a damn thing to me. But really glad that you guys came, hung out with me today, as many of you guys that did. Glad to see Josh, that he's still alive. Some of you guys are like regulars now, so that's pretty cool. I will be live tomorrow, so make sure you try to watch. I will. If you send out the thing, I'll set up a notification for it. I try to do it for all the turners, everything I can to support the community and everything like that. Please check out the other channels. Please check out the sponsors, all that cool stuff. Please like and subscribe. If you're not a member and you haven't won a free membership yet from one of these guys, consider being a member. It's only $1, and it greatly helps out the channel a lot. So, with that being said, I'm going to move the camera up here a little bit, and then I'm going to do the raffle. Dusty ass computer. Put my phone charger in my pocket. This has everybody in from the other day. As well as all of, I think, the 3-4 inchers we had. No, Dan had it in 4. Eric had it in 1. I believe Suzanne. Eric's went to Suzanne. Woodshed by Dam. That's about fitting. Alright, so let me get you over here where you guys can see exactly what's going on so you don't think I'm trying to buffalo you or nothing like that. Shuffle. 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 Shuffle again. Really don't see any groups of 2 or 3 more people together. We got like 3 or 4 Dans over there. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. That looks pretty good. Okay. Mr. Wilson, if you're in here, give me a countdown. We're spinning. Dan, my brother, get a hold of me. I will, ooh, good, dang. That is not the, yeah, that's the Woodshed Dan. Dan that came in here and dropped like a 220s on me the other day. That's Dan because I had to type him. That's Woodshed Dan because I had to type him in there a million times. But Mr. Yeah. What's up, Happy? Wish they'd stop sending me notifications while I'm live. Yep. Woodshed, get on me, brother. I gotta send you stickers anyways. Now I gotta send something else with it. Alright, so remove all instances. Deletes. No problem. If I go live throughout the week, I'll make sure to drop a notification so you guys can see and all that cool stuff. But with that being said, it's hotter than hell. I gotta go get a shower. I got sawdust in places I didn't know a man could get sawdust. This fought me the whole way. I'm glad you guys were here. Please check out the sponsors. Please like and subscribe, guys. I need 3 more to have 200 likes on this. Come on now. I'm gonna go over and turn off the fan. I'll come back. I need 2 more now. Let's get it. That fan's off. Come on now. All right. 1. Come on, give me 1 more now. Give Daddy 1 more. Daddy needs an extra like. Break that 200. I will have this whole thing edited up into a short so that you guys can watch the abbreviated, very fast-forwarded version of it. Oh, there it is. Hell yeah, 200. With that being said, people, peace. Love y'all. God bless. Like and subscribe. Wear deodorant. Wash your crevices. I'm going to. See y'all later. Love y'all. Bye. Check it out. I'm going to do it right this time. Bam. Now we're done.